Good Morning Night Vale is brought to you by The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, a new independently produced and crowdfunded 10-episode original audio drama. Set in a deceptively familiar world of electronic surveillance and machine-mediated communication, The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine follows Lydia Ryan and her friends, lovelorn Ethan and wannabe internet sensation Dee, as they struggle to unravel the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Escape the sinister Fontaine family, and survive the feud over her grandfather's supernatural legacy. It weaves bitter family drama and high-stakes intrigue with fantasy and cyberpunk elements to create a surreal mystery about secrets and grudges, old books, big data, and the promise of infinite knowledge. And do not forget the talking birds. It's a full-cast production with original music and a bespoke soundscape presented through a series of found-footage-style surveillance recordings. And it's important to note, this show was made entirely without generative AI. Even the computers are voiced by human actors. Episodes are free, and you can start listening right now with the Season 1 finale due to come out on August 16th. For more information, go to lydiadisappears.com. and find The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine wherever you get your podcasts and start listening from the beginning.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You want to go outside? Outside? You want to go outside? You do? You do?
I bet you want to go outside. I bet you do.
Good morning, Night Vale.
Hello, everybody. It is me, Meg Bashwiner, here to talk to you about a podcast that you've already listened to.
And hi, I'm Hal, and I'm here to speak into that podcast that you're going to listen to later, but I'm doing it now, but you won't hear it till later, and then it will be in the past for you again because you're not going to listen to it right away.
And hey, I'm Symphony, and I'm going to cackle and squeal into this microphone that you're going to hear me through in the future, but also right now. And me and my friends, you know us. We're from Welcome to Night Vale. We are cast members, and we are coming to you, talking to you about every episode. Today is June 9th in the year of our spaghetti monster, 2021. And it is a Wednesday, which is pretty cool. Hump day. And I think it's time to talk about Who's a Good Boy, Part 2.
Here's the official episode description. Who's a good boy? Who is it? Who is it? Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. It's the last episode of the season of this story arc.
Wowie, wow.
And boy, are we here. What a great episode, too. An interesting way to resolve this story.
Absolutely. So much happened. So many characters came in. It just like grew and like mounted to the entire town of Night Vale and the residents of Desert Bluffs coming together. And it was a monumentous sort of thing. And I loved it. I always love when the town comes together.
Yeah, I like the Infinity War / Endgame of it all, where you get to see all these characters come together. And
yes.
Sometimes it's weaving a bunch of storylines, sometimes not. In this case, it's just bringing all of these characters to a central point. And Steve is there. And
most importantly, Steve is there.
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to anything other than that. I was like, oh, that's my character. And then I
Tamika's
stopped
there
listening.
too, and I was like, yay.
That's right. Tamika's there. Josie is there.
Deb, not involved. It's okay.
Deb not involved.
This isn't a thing for her.
No, this is the human thing.
She's never threatened.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No, not an issue for her. This is not a problem that would concern Deb.
Can we talk about the breathing?
I guess we're talking about it.
Yeah, what a great symbol for like a horror. This has like a Night of the Living Dead feel, right?
Yeah.
Or Day of the Dead, whatever. Everybody's sort of barricaded themselves in, but the threat is still lurking and getting closer. And that device of a dog panting, as that's when you know that the switch has happened. Like when somebody's bit by a vampire and you see them slow, like they sprout their fangs. That's your symbols. Really, really smart. As is all the imagery of a dog walking on its hind legs, which is the most hilarious thing that a dog can do.
Well, because some of them do it all like they're almost like that weird lizard, you know? Like they have to pick up their bodies like wiggle when they do it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck? You look silly. But this one is pretty frightening, I think.
There was a dog that I had who loved chicken so much and learned like partially that chicken meant stand up and spin.
Okay.
He'll get chicken.
Yeah.
And as a result, if you were cooking chicken, he would come into the kitchen on his hind legs, spinning with his paws up, expecting chicken. And when a dog does that,
What kind of dog was it?
it was a little Havanese.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I mean, how could you not give it chicken?
No, at that point, you're like, all right, you've earned the chicken.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do a trick, I'm going to give you some chicken. That's a smart dog.
Have a chicken. That's tricking for chicken. Tricking for chicken.
Chicken for Chicken, the Symphony Sanders story.
Yeah. It's the name of your country album.
Chicken for Chicken.
Hosting the CMAs with her new hit song, Tricking for Chicken, it's Symphony Sanders.
Well, hey, y'all.
Symphony Colonel Sanders.
Yep, the Colonel herself.
You know, I actually do say that when I talk to people on the phone. They'll be like, what's your name? I'm like, Symphony, like the orchestra, Sanders, like the Colonel. Because then people get it, you know?
Have either of you had KFC's new French fries?
No, I don't even know where there is a KFC.
Well, if you find one, they've gotten back into the French fry business. They used to have those wedges, which I don't care for.
Okay. You don't like what, in general? You don't like a wedge?
A lazy French fry. Either give me French fries or give me potato skins. I'll eat either one happily. But this like midway is like, it's like if your mom would make them growing up and she didn't feel like cutting actual fries. She's like, these are French fries. Eat them. Why are you complaining?
I agree. It's like not enough potato, but still somehow too much potato. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not on.
I love potato wedges.
You do?
I love
more
them.
than French fries?
No.
More than a baked potato?
Ooh, no, I love baked potatoes. But you know what? I have never met a spud I don't like.
Ooh.
I love potatoes in every incarnation.
They're good.
I do too. But if I get to choose.
I think I'm least fond of tots.
Controversial.
But most people love tots.
Yeah, I like a tot. I don't love it as much as other people do. With an air fryer, that changes everything because whatever you get is going to be cooked really well.
Right.
Like properly, not well as in well done.
I think the whole tot thing for me stems back to like when school lunches were a thing. They were always like they weren't crisp.
Yeah.
And when you have an air fryer all your own, you make it to the crispness, to the doneness that you prefer. Personally, I don't like a soggy tot.
Yeah.
I don't like a soggy anything. I want like crisp. I want to hear the crunch and feel it toothsomely in my tooth.
You might like these KFC fries because they're a thicker fry.
Okay.
But there is some crispiness to it. And it's made, the selling point is, it's made with the same secret blend of 11 herbs and spices as the chicken.
Okay.
But judging for the flavor of the potatoes, all 11 of the herbs and spices are salt.
Oh, no.
Which I'm fine with.
Well, yeah.
I was just like, yeah, it tastes a little bit like their chicken skin, but not as good. They're decent French fries. They're decent. They're good. I like them better than the wedges. That's my review.
All right.
Get Arby's crinkle cut fries. Those are very good too. They got into the crinkle cut game.
I'm sorry. I just heard like
A ghost?
a woman yelling.
Oh.
And I didn't know where that came from because like
Like a neighbor? What did they say? What did they yell?
at first I thought it was on the recording, but I'm like, your wife isn't home, And Meg didn't yell, and that's the only woman in her house. I'm like, was it in my house? But it wasn't in my house. I mean, I'm locked in. But I think it might have been like someone in the hallway. I think they're like, oh no, it's someone outside.
What is she yelling? She mad at somebody?
I can't tell.
Or is she like, bring the pineapples?
I think they're just like, gab, gab, gab.
Oh, they should say more words. It'd be better communication.
I wonder how they feel about French fries.
Hold on. I hear a commotion. I'm sorry.
What French fries do they like?
Symphony's going to know she's on a case. This is live journalism, folks.
This is it. We're going to get a live answer to what is happening. What's your favorite French fry? Do you have a favorite fast food French fry? Have we talked about this?
I mean, the McDonald's fry is like kind of my ideal. If I were talking just any sort of shape, like a diner seasoned curly fry or a diner waffle fry, like
okay,
with the seasoning. But what about you? What's your? You to discuss this ad nauseum. So
I've had a lot of fast food French fries recently, like in the last month, and I think empirically McDonald's is the best because they taste the same every time you get them. They are consistently cooked, and no other place is able to consistently cook them properly or season them properly. But here's a pro tip, and then Symphony, I want to hear your favorite fast food French fry.
I want to hear what's going on in the hallway.
Yeah, and we need an update. Wait, hold on. Breaking news. What's going on? What's going on in the hallway, Symphony?
Nothing. It's a girl's. She's one of the workers over at that pizza joint that I have a feud with.
Oh, we hate them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Just because they're loud and I'm always trying to record and they're bumping their music, and it just makes it very difficult when I'm trying to record stuff to not be having a quiet place to do that. And it's one of the girls who works there. Her boyfriend is just idling in the alley and she's screaming at him through the window.
Fantastic.
Welcome to Chicago.
Perfect. That's
It's great. I think it's ending soon. Both
their relationship.
And you heard it first, a breakup happening in Chicago, Illinois. We'll check in with Symphony next episode to see if they've gotten back together. But first, Symphony.
Yes.
We're here talking about fast food French fries.
Yeah.
Because, this is episode 90. Which fast food French fry is your favorite?
Okay. I would probably have to say McDonald's for just the overall consistency across no matter what generally whatever McDonald's you go to. Even the one I went to in Baltimore where the cashier answered a personal call. And then when someone tried to say something to her, she said, "Shut up, bitch." What? I was like, and then she went back to the phone call and was like, "Don't be playing on my phone." And then continued taking orders. I do love it. And even those McDonald's fries were slapping. But I also like a natural cut French fry from like a Steak and Fries. Have you guys ever been there?
Steak and Fries?
It's like Boardwalk Fries.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know Boardwalk? It's like in the mall.
Or like surf fries?
Yeah. But it's just like they take potatoes that still have like skin on them, which is the whole thing, and then they cut it down. I don't know. I love when skin is on and it gets fried up. It tastes so good to me.
I'm okay with a little bit of skin on it, but the wedge is just too much potato at once. A pro tip. Next time you go to the drive-through, the drive-in where you watch people make fast food with a little speaker on your window. When you go to the drive-through and you get your instinct is going to be to close the bag to keep the heat in, but if you do that, you steam the French fries and they get soggy. You have to keep the bag open.
Right.
And if you get a chicken sandwich, also open that up. I've had a lot of spicy chicken sandwiches lately.
By the way, did you hear that the Burger King spicy chicken sandwich, they basically called out Chick-fil-A on their bigoted behavior and have said that all purchases of their chicken sandwich, they will donate money to an LGBTQIA plus organization. And I'm like, hell yeah, Burger King. I hate your fries, but I will eat that spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
I'll be chicken for gay chicken.
Yep.
Chicken for chicken. But yes, I would have to say McDonald's fries are superior.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
I'm glad we settled that. this monumentous episode.
Absolutely. You know what wasn't settled, though? The whole thing with Hiram. Hiram, again, just hashtag justice for Hiram. I understand he was a baddie, but again, he is a Night Valian, and he did come to help. Long story short, too long didn't read. He swooped in with the Enhills, and they, like he said, he was going to help, but we found out later that no one really did anything.
Or we don't know. A lot of people claim...
We don't know.
What is it? Success is a child with many fathers, something like that, or many mothers, or many parents, or whatever, something like that.
There's that. And then there's also the faceless old woman's take, which is just, it didn't matter.
Yeah, that they just left on their own accord and they could come back anytime they want type thing.
You did everything you possibly could, but it's not in your control.
That was unsettling. Because we usually get like some sort of like satisfaction in the end of, oh, this thing was defeated, or it's not actually as bad as we thought it was going to be, etc. But in this one, we don't know that. We don't know that.
No heroes, you know. I do like that we get to kind of go on the tour, though, of the, like, let's try the Angels. Let's try Hiram. Let's check in with Tamika. Let's see about Sheriff Sam. We've got the city council using the dog park. We've got Kashik. Like, we've just kind of brought out our menagerie of our various strengths and weirds and scares. And we put them all out on the table. And yeah, it's possible that it was that. But according to the faceless old woman, it wasn't.
Yeah, I appreciate that this is our new Old Oak Doors, where we have a two-parter. Everybody is brought together for something, but Old Oak Doors is much more active in these two threats fighting one another.
Right.
It builds up to this big end game. I keep using Marvel, but they do it so well.
Yeah.
All the characters coming together to fight and actually engage, and Cecil's narrating this terrific action, whereas this time, you don't really know what happened. And it doesn't, like, it could be any of these things. You don't really know. It's more about escaping a threat. So you bring all the characters together, but under different circumstances. So I think if you do it the exact same way, and you just have them in a fight against these strangers, then it just feels too samey. This is a different kind of threat.
Right.
So it's interesting to see the similarities and differences between the end of an arc of an entire season.
Yeah, I have to say this season feels like the tightest season we've had so far as continual plot, everything kind of circling back around to it. And like, it really feels like lots of things were addressed, things were buttoned up. The plot drove the whole time. So it felt like this was a kind of a step forward in the plotting structure of Night Vale, it felt like a cohesive season for sure.
But I am glad, no matter what happened, that this whole thing is over, because I thought the strangers were very scary, and especially with the whole mud thing at the end, and then the dog being like Satan. I don't know. This one was spooky. I love it. But I was just like, there was so much tension for me throughout this whole thing. And I do like how it was all wrapped up.
Yes.
I like the Kashik update a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm partial to that particular aspect of it because it was, yeah.
But he was all scratched up.
But Kashik's tough.
Yeah, he is tough.
Kashik is darkness. I think it's a very logical battle is the beagle, the cat v the dog.
Yeah.
So the sort of the darkness cat versus the satanic dog.
Yeah.
In my mind canon. If my mind canon wasn't the faceless old woman is right, which is where I lean, then it would be that Kashik took that beagle to town.
Yes. That seems like that was my favorite too. I was like, oh, it's got to be Kashik. Kashik has a little bit of fur between the second set of teeth.
Yeah, at least he got a good bite at, I did like, because we got a little bit more idea of what Kashik is like when they talked about the tongue, chest tongue, something like that. There was like I was like, huh, okay. I mean, because he's floating, so I was just like, okay, and then a tongue comes out. But I'm imagining very similar to like the like the alien. Like when the mouth comes out, it's like, but with the tongue.
Hopping back to the traffic real quick.
Oh, yes.
I liked the traffic section, which is just Cecil escaping the building through the like air vent.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny and very clever. That's hopping back to that segment. In the intro to this in the script book, Jeffrey talks about how it's sort of a metaphor for death, that we have the illusion of control in our lives, but really it's not up to us on how things go. So I think that it's not something I saw coming with this story arc at all. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, totally. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. And then when looking at that metaphor for death, we kind of talked about the faceless old woman being terrified of the strangers. Mm-hmm. And Lucia, the ghost, being terrified of the strangers. And both the faceless old woman, and Lucia are ghosts. So they're dead, but they're still present. So I feel like it would make sense for something that is a metaphor for death. And death as permanence, death as wanting nothing, death as not having any human needs or concerns, would be something that would be very terrifying to people who are still haunting the realm of the living due to their unfinished business or their satisfaction with human life. So I found like that's kind of something we've been harping on all season, is like these two ghostly things are afraid. It's got to be bad. It's got to be bad. But yeah.
Right.
Of course, the two ghosts are afraid of death because they're dead, but they won't walk to it, right? So,
yeah,
yes, absolutely.
No, that's a really good point.
Spoopy. I guess the faceless old woman is a ghost. I guess she's dead, but she died, but came back.
Yeah, she feels like an interdimensional like being of some sort.
Yeah,
like a phoenix.
Honestly, that's actually what I think that ghosts kind of are. Anyway, they've like moved on to just like a different plane of existence, but because they've like ascended to like a different like level, it's like fourth dimension or whatever, they can be in that dimension or they can come down to ours, but they don't. That's why they look all wispy, because we can't perceive them fully because we're on a lower level. I know that probably sounds wacky, but in my brain, it's based in science.
Which we are talking about ghosts.
Ghosties and ghoulies.
Ghosts and ghoulies. All bets are off and everything's on the table.
Hopping back to Steve Carlsberg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Steve Carlsberg.
He almost gets taken.
Almost gets taken.
Finally.
And everyone has to be like, no, Steve.
He does almost get taken.
Everybody's like, no. They're like trying to holding him down.
Not today, Steve. Stay back. I like that there is that love for Steve, and like Carlos is there trying to protect. Like there is that sort of like, we will save you from yourself. Don't worry about it. We got you.
Yeah, there is. It's interesting that he's the character that people have to rally around to kind of to save or want to save, including Cecil. Like he's really in a moment of extreme situation that veneer of hatred kind of drops. But that's a lot of that. We have the Desert Bluffs and Night Vale people side by side because they're united in fighting a common enemy. Which is, as anybody who watched 80s action cartoons knows, there's always some threat that caused G.I. Joe and Cobra to work together, or the Autobots and Decepticons had to fight against some larger threat.
Yeah, also, I think it has to do with, like in your family, like, you can talk shit about your family member, but if anybody else talked shit about them, you'd be willing to fight for them, or like if they got into a jam, you'd be willing to help them out or whatever. But you can be like, that guy, he's a bum,
Yeah.
Yes.
But don't anybody else try to hurt them.
True.
I love seeing their relationship blossom a little bit from that, or seeing he actually cares.
Yes.
Yeah. It's nice to have that validation, because we always kind of suspected that there was something growing there. And then, yeah. But speaking of the Desert Bluffs community and the Night Vale community, we get this teaser, post-credits teaser from Kevin.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh. Maybe what's up next? What's up for the next season of this show?
Right.
Is that we hear from Kevin and how he has colonized Desert Bluffs too.
TOO, not TWO.
TO, not TW.
Also.
So we have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love Kevin, you know?
Up next, we have a conversation with the creator of this episode's weather, which was The Queer Gospel by Erin Mckeown.
Stay right there. Good Morning Night Vale will return after a brief break.
Welcome to the show, Erin. I want to welcome you. I also want to start with an apology for being strong and wrong in the credits in 2016 about the pronunciation of your last name.
That's how everybody is.
This was before I knew you, and it is a failure as an MC and as a person who reads people's last names to not go to a recording of that person saying their name. But I am so sorry that I said, Erin, what did I say? I'm not going to say it because I can't even.
I've heard it all. McQuaylar, McQuayon, McKeon, McCone, like
McQuaylar?
all of it. I one time went to a dressing room that said Eric McQuaylar.
One of my favorite things is that you have like a whole series of people getting your
That's
name
correct.
wrong, and I was one
That's
of them,
correct.
and which breaks my heart in half because
No.
It's even become a hashtag in in some of your earlier Instagrams.
Yeah. No, it is. And do you remember, did I correct you codependently or strongly?
I don't believe you ever corrected me. And then when we met in person when you came on tour with us, I was actually did the appropriate thing. And I was like, do I say your last name? I think I was like McEwen. And you were like, it's Mckeown. And I was like, great. And then I don't think I've ever gotten it wrong publicly since then.
No, you're so good at it.
But it broke I was like listening to this and I was like, did I actually do that? Was I one of them? Was like after, years of being your friend, like going back in the time capsule to 2016, like the month before I met you.
Well, here's the thing is like, I really tried to help people along with this. Like I went to the Wikipedia page, signed in, like changed the first line to like have a phonetic pronunciation. And then another editor changed it. And then I went back and changed it. And then that same editor changed it again. And finally I put a note in the the wiki log of like, I am Erin, please stop changing this. Because I was doing it under like a weird pseudonym username or something. And it's finally stayed. So like, hopefully that helps. But yeah, Bashwiner.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sandrini.
Lublin all the time.
Lublin, yeah.
I'm going to start using Eric McQuaylar when I check into hotels and I don't want people to know I'm there. That's going to be my fake name.
Eric McQuaylar.
That's correct.
Eric McQuaylar.
People usually only get my first name incorrect. They don't. Sanders is a pretty standard last name.
What do they say? Symphony?
Actually, people mishear it. And so, or they just hear what they want to hear. So they usually think my name is Stephanie or Cynthia. I did get someone thought I said syphilis once, and I was like, that's a stretch. That is a stretch.
That's some projection.
That's not a name. Well, it's a name of a disease, but an infection, but it's not a name a person has.
Y'all, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having Eric McQuaylar on.
Eric, we love your work.
Eric McQuaylar is my favorite musician.
On Hello, Night Glenn.
Is it McQuaylar? Am I saying that right? McQuayar. Sorry, I said it wrong. That was my bad.
Correct. It's ancient Spain.
Strong and wrong. Yes, in Catalan. It's
Catalan.
I think it's always good to welcome a guest by apologizing thoroughly to them. But we're so happy to have you on, finally have you on the show. I'm happy that we finally got to your first weather, because it's a thing you've done many times. But the Queer Gospel, which is a super rad song. What can you tell us a little bit about when this song came out and like the process of it? It was a new song at the time, right? It was like a premiere.
It was a brand new song. No, the whole like world premiere of it was on Night Vale, which was so exciting.
World premiere.
I had written it maybe. Well, I started writing it like almost the year before on a tour through North Carolina, because there was this sort of like time where there was this like the first of the dumbass bathroom bills was happening. And I was on a tour when that was happening. People were boycotting North Carolina. And I was like, am I going to boycott? And I was like, no, that would be, no one cares if I don't go to North Carolina. So like, I'm going to go and like make some queer community and try to leave something behind. So I was writing the song while I was there, finishing up later in early 2016 in time for an EP. And then it was a question of, where's the best place to put this? And we had all just recently met. Joseph and Meg and I had met, and the weather was happening. I was going to be going on tour, so it made sense to put something on the show. And this was the song that was like coming out of the oven, hot and fresh, at the moment when it was time to send something in. But I had no idea that it would be such a good match for like the Night Vale world.
Yeah,
like it's a really good match for the Night Vale world, and that has been, I mean, I've seen it online as a good match, but also like whenever I play it at shows, like people have really connected to it, and it's felt like a kind of adjacent to the Night Vale world, like a nice musical kind of expression of the same thing that's happening like in Night Vale Planet, of like who gets to be here and who gets to have stories, and how important are these stories, and what the kind of sensibility of like it's sort of serious but kind of not serious. Yeah, so that's the story of it, and it was like the perfect home for it.
Yeah,
yeah, it certainly feels like it.
Yeah, you mentioned that the song like just felt at home, and you got a good reception when you played it live as well. Before I listened to this episode, the only place that I had heard it was on tour when you performed it. I hadn't heard the full mastered version of it, which is beautiful and reverent and like sounds like something that you would hear almost in a church, or like it was beautiful. I love the backup singing, all that. But every time you did it live, it was always a cappella for most of it, and until the guitar part, I remember.
Yeah.
But I remember that your voice just rang so like clear through. And people were so quiet and like listening to it. But then I think they were also listening hard for glory holes.
Yes, those don't try to make an advertisement with that song either, because apparently glory holes is not a bit, it's one of the words that's on the list somewhere of things you can't advertise. But sometimes I think people don't know what glory holes is. Should we explain for the listener or no?
Absolutely.
We probably should.
Hey, if today's going to be the day that someone learns, let them, better that they learn from us, specifically from you. Yeah. So go for it.
Okay, so everyone has, so at the beginning of the song, it says, from heaven to the glory holes, glorious and free. And it's just my dumb pun of glorious glory holes. But also like glory hole in queer culture is generally a piece of wood with a hole in it that is sometimes in a bathroom, sometimes in other places, and it allows two people to have sex anonymously. And I love the word that it's called a glory hole, because the idea of glory to me should be like kind of like reverently irreverent. You know what I'm saying? Like glory should like not be like a shiny church chalice. It should totally be like dirty if you need it. And there's nothing wrong with being dirty. So I love that word and I love that moment, but not everyone knows what a glory hole is. And the song works great without knowing that. May I tell you a glory hole story about this song?
Absolutely.
Oh, please.
Yes, story hole time.
Story hole, glory hole.
Story hole.
Pull up to the story hole. Here we go.
Oh, bingo. This song is really, through the platform of Night Vale, this is how like 99% of the people have found out about this song. There are churches like around the country that use this song in their worship. They've like emailed me and been like, we have the sheet music for it. We run a progressive church, always a progressive church, but like we run a progressive church. We'd love to use this song.
Progressive or confused.
Correct.
Confused with what they've found.
But there was also a local high school here in Western Massachusetts that the choir director loved the song. The students loved the song. It was like Pride Month. He wanted to like have the like whatever 10th and 11th grade choir sing it for the school's Pride celebration. And so like they invited me to come to the choir class to like help teach the song and like it was great. I got to meet the students. They were so excited. And maybe a week before the school assembly, the choir director was like, I'm so sorry to let you know, but the school looked at the lyrics and we didn't think glory holes was a problem, but the school thinks it's a problem. So we're so sorry, but the students aren't going to get to sing this song. And then they were like, would you consider changing the lyrics? And I was like, absolutely. There's other people I think that would get mad in that moment, would be like, don't censor me. But I changed it to, so that they could sing it, I changed it to loving homes. Oh. So it says, from heaven to our loving homes, glorious and free. But loving home, glory hole, you do the math.
Also, a loving home is when you take your asshole. And
Yes.
By the way, the segment brought to you by Toyota. They are not only using the song in a new commercial, but they've decided to pony up for this segment.
To the glory holes, Toyota is free.
Toyota, find your glory.
Yeah. My favorite part of that story is that the administrators of the school had to get together, and one of them definitely had to explain to the others what a glory hole was.
Because they probably didn't know, and then someone who did know was like, ooh. Anyway, I think the version that has happened live at, I think we counted was maybe 100 Night Vale shows. I've probably done 100 shows with you, which is crazy.
That's a lot of shows, baby.
Yeah.
And also beautiful. So beautiful.
All over the world.
All over the world, 100 shows. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Everywhere we tour, you've toured with us.
The only person I've played 100 shows with besides you is me. So strong second place. But it's like, I guess that version is the kind of like punk rock, like scrappy do version, where it's like down to the elements of like a guitar, a voice, and people.
I have two questions, if I may be permitted to double up.
Double your pleasure.
Number one, in that recorded version at the beginning, is that you? Are you all the voices mixed together?
Yeah, I did all the voices, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, that was all you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's I couldn't afford anybody else.
No, but it sounds great.
Well, you don't need it.
It would have been great to have a choir, but I did all the voices myself. And that's always really fun. That's the high school 4-tracker in me that just spent hours on the 4-track stacking vocals.
Yeah. It sounds great. It actually took me a second because first I was just enjoying the sound of it, but then it occurred to me I think that's Erin doing all of the voices. I'm pretty sure, which is great. I think it's a compliment that I couldn't tell right away because a lot of times when people harmonize with themselves, you can just tell it's one voice in a lot of different...
Right, or it has a specific texture to it that I find pleasing. Mm-hmm. But no, sometimes when I stack vocals, I try to be different people. So,
yeah.
Do they have a whole backstory?
I do.
No, but I should. I guess they do in a way. But you can also do this thing where you can. I mean, you all know this because you use mics all the time. But you can step away from the mic and do one of the stacks. You can go 90 degrees to it. You can get up close, and then you could just pretend to be different people. So there's whatever the bottom part is love us as we are, see us, and it's you do enough of them and it all kind of blends together.
So good.
So none of them were Aaron Neville though.
I couldn't get Aaron Neville, but if I could have, he would have sounded like love us as we are.
By the way, that's an inside joke from when I was there when we toured together.
Correct.
Was doing Aaron Neville impressions.
Correct.
Even at a fleeting moment where you were going on stage and I was going to eat carrot sticks.
I've never had more fun backstage than I have had in the Night Vale universe. Seriously, it's so much more fun to hang out with actors than musicians. Personally, that's what I think.
That's what I wanted to ask you is what are the advantages to touring with Night Vale versus just going out to tour with a band? What feels familiar and then maybe what is sort of a vacation or just different?
Well, the thing about y'all's Night Vale world is I think what blew my mind when I first came on was that there's just no equipment. Mm-hmm. That as a musician who has serious neck and shoulder and arms and hand problems at an early age from years of just like hauling shit. The fact that you all travel so light and still, of course, make this like clearly like full, amazing, rich show. Even Disparition, like even his rig is like really light. That kind of blew my mind. And I think it makes people happier. I think you all are happier because you're not hauling shit, and you can show up. I mean, so the guest folks, y'all don't even sound check.
Nope.
So, so like to cut that out of your day and to not have to carry things and to be able after the gig to just like walk out, essentially acknowledging Meg Bashwiner's enormous amount of post-show work.
I packed your minimal gear.
Yes.
So you could go sign autographs.
Yes, I know. God bless ye.
Well, I just didn't want to wait for you to be, because as soon as y'all were done, I get to go.
It's like, get out.
So I was like, let's make that quicker, and I'll just pack up Erin's stuff.
I think that just like literally makes the spirit lighter, to just like not have to like haul all that shit around and also minimize the amount of like technical things that can go wrong. It's really like, for y'all, it's a couple microphones and like a stereo input, and then whatever the weather house. And you've had weathers of varying complications, myself included, and so it's. I actually just think that's part of it, of the whole thing. And I also think that, like y'all are coming from like actor world, and I had a taste of that, like especially at the time that I met you all in 2016 and started working in your world. I was like working a little bit in professional theater, and so had sort of seen like what that is. But like professional theater is like on the clock, and there's like, it's got a vibe, but like you don't hang out in the vibe. You like come and you do the thing, and you get it done and you go. And musicians are like, not to generalize, but for real, like we show up and we just like sit down and we shoot the shit for like 45 minutes. And then someone says, want to play some music? And someone else says, yeah, but I got to order food first. And then you eventually start the rehearsal. You know what I mean? Whereas actors would be like over and done within that 90 minutes. And so I really appreciated that. Because it just leaves more time to do other things besides like the show. Because then, we've had all kinds of adventures.
Absolutely.
We've like petted animals. We have hung out with, we've played mini golf. We have, there's a whole list of
that was our first real hangout.
Yeah.
The mini golf. And you and I were a stellar little team there, I think.
Correct. I have a picture that comes up often in my computer of us swinging golf clubs to fake destroy something.
Yeah, we were trying to bust up the ship for a...
Yeah, like a staged, like attacking a putt-putt windmill or something.
I'm going to put that picture when this episode comes out. I'll put that picture on the Patreon. I'm making a note of that now.
Please do.
Yeah, put that picture up. So to answer the other half of your question, how like, so that stuff was like new. And then, but what's also familiar about it is like, of course, it's just like a room full of people is a room full of people. And especially Night Vale audiences, I have never encountered audiences well as diverse as your audience, first of all. The Night Vale audience is more diverse gender-wise, more diverse, like, ethnically, more diverse, like age-wise, or even just tipping younger than the people that I usually get to play with. And there's like, it's a different vibe in the room. But I also think it's a different vibe in the room when people come, they're coming because they listen to this like audio world. And so to come and see something for the first time, I think, or not even the first time, but like this is this other piece of our fandom. I think watching music is boring. Like, I personally think like watching music is boring. But like, if you've been listening to a podcast and then all of a sudden you're hearing that podcast, but seeing people do it for the first time, there's like, that's just, to me, feels like more interesting. So it's like the vibe feels different in that way. I'm just telling you all the ways that it's better than being a musician. I don't really have any.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah. That's
well, I also think we make touring, our tour, because we've got it kind of down to a science, it's easy for you to come in and like everybody's super welcoming and very nice. And we're always really excited to have a new weather with us because it ends up becoming a real relationship. You're on the road together. And because we have run this kind of, well, Meg runs a very tight ship. We are able to have these fun moments. Like when we went in Melbourne, I think we did that kayaking thing.
Oh my God, you're right. We kayaked Melbourne Harbor together, me and Symphony sharing a kayak.
Remember that?
And I was like,
that was so
almost
fun.
Tipping it several times. And Symphony was like, you have to stop. You're going to tip it. I was like I was like, look at that. And I reached for something in the kayak. No, it's true. It's true. But I also think it's kind of cool. Like I think for y'all, I would imagine that it's nice to have like different people. I mean, both with the special guests and with the weathers, of like having people just come in and out and like kind of keeping it fresh. And like, there's nothing worse than like, I don't know, it'd be like, I imagine it's like running an Airbnb or something, or like a B&B where like it's always different. It's kind of always a different chemical mixture of people. And like everybody's so professional and so nice and welcoming that like you can have all these personalities come in and nothing gets too old because somebody's going to leave at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the guests coming in and things like that. But either way, it feels like it infuses like a sense of fun and something new and fresh. Like it's always fun when Hal comes, is able to come in on tour because he just like brings another energy. And also Hal loves to go out to the fans.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And I do too. So it's always fun when we get to do that. And Erin, you are totally right. Our fans are completely special and so kind and cute. That makes you want to be like, come children.
It really feels that way. The most common compliment that I have gotten at the Night Vale merch tables is, I like your hair.
Your hair is killer.
And it is great. Awesome. I like it. But it sort of means something else. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You sort of see, especially the younger people, you sort of see them triangulating of like, okay, I look like this. My mom looks like that. But she's not me or my mom. And she looks like that. So, like, you could see the wheels turning of, like, maybe this is who I'm going to be. Maybe this is who I'm not going to be. And it's, like, cool to be, like, that mirror or sort of that pivot point for people. And I have not found that with any other audiences that I've played for except for Night Vale. And it feels like a good service. I feel like I'm doing some sort of good service.
And in a way you are, if you think about it as a queer person, you are representing something that maybe these people have not seen before, or something that they want to achieve, or a goal for themselves. And so that's huge to see you up on the stage, living, being who you are, and being friggin' awesome, can I say?
Thank you. It's also, I had an experience this year. So the last two springs I taught a class at Brown, which is where I went. And it's a class about like making musical theater, which I just am like, why did you hire me? Imposter. But it's like making the 21st century musical is what it's called. So I can kind of get away with like, and I talk about all these places where different kinds of storytelling are happening, not just like on stage in a traditional musical. And I always talk about Night Vale because I think that the way that music gets used in Night Vale is like amazing. And the way the weather interacts with what's happening and also doesn't interact with what's happening in these cool ways. But anyway, this just past spring semester, I was talking about Night Vale. We were doing our unit on sort of like audio storytelling or whatever. And I mentioned to my class, there's 15 of them. They're maybe like between like 18 and 20. And I mentioned to them that I have toured with Night Vale. And it was like all of a sudden I was cool. Like I was like kind of the cool professor, kind of. But then I was cool because they were like, wait, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, I've been all over the world with them. I've done weather on 2 episodes. Like they're my family. Like I really love them. And they're like, what? And one of my students was like, wait, oh my God, wait, I've seen you with them. On that first tour I did with y'all in 2016, she came with her gay uncles to Salt Lake City and came to the show, and that was one of the weathers that I did. And she was like, you could see the pieces come. She was like, I remember you.
Wow.
But just the like crashing of all those worlds together was so great. And like the cred that I got with my students was so great. Because I think sometimes like there's a weird nether region that you can exist in where it's like I've done well. I would say like I've done well. I'd say we've all done well, but none of us are like Ariana Grande. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We're just like quote unquote like not famous in this way that like people are like in the hotel elevator at night. They're like, "Have we heard of you?" You know, and you're like, no,
Probably not.
you haven't, and it's the worst.
I'm glad we could extend the coolness to that demographic. I feel like in the in my circle of friends, the like 35 to 50-year-olds, like theater makers, art makers, the like fact that I know you is pretty cool. So, among my sort of arts communities in that sort of age range, it's like, oh yeah, you know Erin, yeah.
Well, you all like my students were like, you know, okay, great. Okay, you're here teaching us, you know, okay, you made some records. Like, who is Ani DeFranco? We don't care, you know, and they actually don't know. They don't know who that is, which is mind blowing to me. But then when I say Night Vale, they're like, yeah. And it gives, you know, it's a good job, everybody.
Yeah. We're kind of coming towards the end of our beautiful time together, but I want to have our fans be able to hear more of you. And I know that you have some stuff coming up and some stuff that was released today, the day we're recording this. You released a single, but we're in the past, so you can talk to them about the future.
We're the past and the future. Yeah, I got very busy. Now I'm just like, oh, did I talk too much the last 20 minutes? It's so nice to see you all. I just miss you.
No, you're here to talk. That's why.
Okay, good.
We talk a ton on this show.
This is our best interview. Absolutely.
What about? I was really busy in the Pando, like very, very busy, sitting still and writing a lot of songs. It was like, I know it was not an easy time for a lot of people. I know that a lot of people died who did not need to. And at the same time, it was like a very fertile time for me. And I ended up writing a record during part of it and then making that record. And then it's coming out later this year. And so the second song from it is called Litany for a Minor Character, and it's a long poem with some really fun prog rock underneath it. And that's just out, and it's my favorite song on the record, so I'm very excited that folks can hear it now.
That's awesome.
Wonderful. Erin, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you so much for playing over 100 shows with us. Thank you so much for being the weather on this episode.
I mean, I hope there's more in the future.
Yeah, I hope so too. That's
Mag Beg winner.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. If we can make our schedules align in 22, we will make sure that Erin gets back out on the road.
I would love to see you all.
If we can have the eclipse.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me in Night Vale world, both today and like in the bigger picture. It's like I'm a sentimental queer, and I just want to say that I just like you all really are family to me. And
absolutely, sister.
Sister. And I mean it, and like it's such a rare thing, and it's so special to me. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for making our queer space just a little bit more queer.
Yeah. And for teaching a bunch of people what a glory hole is, including Toyota Glory Hole.
You gave them a loving home to know about glory holes.
A loving home.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Erin, once again. Our next episode is going to be the Investigators live show special. We're going to be joined by my comedy partner, John Peters, you know the farmer, Mark Gagliardi. As always, you can also back us on Patreon. You can become a patron of this show over at patreon.com/Good Morning Night Vale. And until next time, good morning, Night Vale. Good morning.
Good Morning Night Vale is a Night Vale Presents production. It is hosted by Symphony Sanders, Hal Lublin, and Meg Bashwiner. It is edited and mixed by Vincent Cacchione. It is produced by Meg Bashwiner and Symphony Sanders. Theme music by Disparition. Special thanks to our guest this week, Erin Mckeown, Eric McWhaler. Leave us a voicemail at 929-277-2050 or email us at info@goodmorningnightVale.com to share your theories and to ask questions or to hail Satan. This show is powered by our patrons, like Heather, Christopher Nix, Nikki Webb, Elizabeth Jackman, and Jay Connett. If you're interested in supporting the show in exchange for lots of fun, exclusive, insider, hyper cool kid content, check us out at patreon.com/goodmorningnightVale. For more info on this show, go to goodmorningnightVale.com and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Night Vale Chat. Special thanks to Joella Knapp, Jeffrey Craner, and Joseph Fink. The calzone ingredient of the week is walking to the ice cream place after dinner on a hot night.